What are you? You might say you are a person, a body, a collection of thoughts and feelings. But what is the you that experiences all of this? This is the grand mystery of consciousness. It's the light inside your mind, the awareness that allows you to gaze at the stars and wonder about your place in the cosmos. For centuries, philosophers, spiritual leaders, and now scientists have wrestled with this profound question. It's perhaps the most intimate and yet the most elusive subject we can explore. Understanding consciousness is more than an academic puzzle. It's a quest to understand the very nature of our existence and our connection to everything else. The feeling of being you seems so solid, so real. You perceive a clear boundary where your skin ends and the world begins. This sense of a separate self is powerful. It has guided our evolution, helping us navigate a complex world by focusing on our own survival and needs. We think of our thoughts as private, our experiences as uniquely our own, happening inside the fortress of our skulls. But what if this feeling of separation, this wall between me and the universe, is just a convenient illusion? What if the reality is far more interconnected, far more mind-blowing than we typically allow ourselves to imagine? Consider the air you just breathed in. Those oxygen atoms are now inside you, part of your biological machinery. The food you ate becomes your cells. In a few years, almost every atom in your body will be replaced by new ones from the world around you. You are not a static object. You are a flowing, ever-changing pattern. You are a whirlpool in the river of the cosmos. The iron in your blood and the calcium in your bones were forged in the heart of a star that exploded billions of years ago. You are, quite literally, made of stardust. This physical reality challenges our simple notion of a separate self. So, the journey to understand consciousness takes us on two parallel paths. One path looks outward, to the vast, interconnected universe from which we are made. It asks if our awareness is just a small, localized flicker of a much larger cosmic consciousness. The other path looks inward, into the intricate, electrified labyrinth of the human brain. It seeks to find the specific mechanisms, the neurons, the signals, the complex networks, that give rise to the feeling of being alive and aware. Both journeys are essential. Both are part of the great human adventure to know ourselves and our universe. Let's explore a fascinating idea, a user's model of consciousness that turns our everyday assumptions upside down. Imagine that consciousness isn't something the brain creates from scratch. Instead, imagine that consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe itself, like gravity or space-time. In this view, the universe isn't just a collection of lifeless rocks and gas clouds. It is, in its very essence, aware. What we call our personal consciousness, then, is not a private creation. It's simply the universe experiencing itself through a unique window, the window that is you. Your eyes, your ears, your brain are instruments through which the cosmos observes its own beauty and complexity. This model suggests that the boundary we feel between ourselves and the world is not real in any meaningful way. It's an evolutionary trick, a useful simplification that helps a complex organism survive. But at a fundamental level, there is no line. Think of a photon, a particle of light that travels millions of light years from a distant star. It enters your eye, and its information becomes part of your conscious experience of seeing that star. Where did the outside world end and your internal experience begin? According to this model, they were never separate. You are not in the universe, you are the universe, experiencing itself. This perspective isn't just about abstract connections. It's rooted in physical reality. The atoms that make up your hand are not fundamentally different from the atoms that make up the air just a millimeter away. There is no hard, impenetrable wall. We are in a constant, dynamic exchange with our environment. We are not just made of stardust. We are actively swapping bits and pieces with the cosmos in every moment. This continuous flow makes the idea of a fixed, separate self seem less plausible. We are more like a wave in the ocean of being, distinct for a moment but always and forever part of the water. From this viewpoint, our individual awareness is a kind of focused observation. We are aware of our conscious experience. This creates a rich, complex inner world that feels like me. But this feeling might be the grand illusion. We are a nexus, a point where the universal consciousness has become complex enough to reflect upon itself. It's a breathtaking thought. Every human, every animal, perhaps every complex system, is a different way for the universe to know itself. Our individual lives are not isolated events. They are chapters in the autobiography of the cosmos. Now let's journey down the other path. the one that leads into the 3-pound universe inside our heads. Mainstream science generally approaches consciousness from the bottom up. It sees consciousness as an emergent property, something that arises from the complex workings of the brain. It's not a pre-existing feature of the universe, but rather a special kind of biological computation. Scientists are searching for the neural correlates of consciousness, the specific brain activities that flicker to life whenever we have a subjective experience, like seeing the color red or feeling happy. The brain in this view is the engine that generates the mind. Several leading scientific theories try to explain how this happens. One is the Global Workspace Theory, or GWT. It imagines the brain as a theater. Most brain activity happens unconsciously backstage, but when a piece of information is important enough, it gets broadcast onto a global workspace, the stage, making it available to all the different parts of the brain. This widespread sharing of information is consciousness. It's like a spotlight that illuminates a thought or a sensation, making it the star of the show for a brief moment, accessible to your memory, your planning, and your language centers. Another prominent idea is higher order thought theory, or HOT. This theory suggests that a mental state becomes conscious only when you have a thought about that mental state. Simply having a sensation is not enough. You become conscious of it when a higher level part of your brain, likely in the prefrontal cortex, notices that sensation and forms a meta-thought, like I am now seeing red. Consciousness, in this sense, is a form of self-monitoring or reflection. It's the brain turning its attention back onto its own operations, creating an awareness of its own internal states. Then there is integrated information theory, or IIT, which offers a mathematical approach. IIT proposes that consciousness is identical to a system's capacity to integrate information. It measures this with a value called phi. A system is conscious if it has a lot of different possible states, differentiation, and if those states are deeply interconnected, integration. A brain has an astronomically high phi value, but so could a complex computer, in theory. IIT is unique because it attempts to explain not just that we are conscious, but why our experience feels the way it does, based on the structure of the system. So we have two very different stories. The user's model says consciousness is universal, fundamental, and we are just expressions of it. Science largely says consciousness is local, emergent, and created by our brains. The biggest difference is the starting point. One starts with a conscious universe, top-down, while the other starts with unconscious matter that builds a conscious brain, bottom-up. The user's model erases the boundary between self and universe, while science relies on that boundary to study the brain as a distinct system. This seems like an unbridgeable chasm. But perhaps these two views are not enemies. Perhaps they are two sides of the same cosmic coin. There are intriguing points of overlap. The user's idea of being aware of our conscious experience sounds a lot like the self-monitoring described in higher-order thought theory. The idea of information being shared to create a unified experience echoes the global workspace theory. These scientific models might not be explaining how consciousness is created from nothing, but rather the specific mechanism by which the universal consciousness gets focused, filtered, and manifested within a complex biological system like a brain. In this integrated view, the scientific theories don't lose their power. They become even more profound. GWT, HOT, and IIT could be seen as describing the how, the wiring and the software that allows a piece of the universe, a human, to participate so richly in the consciousness that is already there. The brain isn't a generator of consciousness, but a highly sophisticated receiver and processor. It's like a radio. A radio doesn't create the music. It pulls a specific signal out of the airwaves that are all around us and translates it into a form we can experience. What makes the user's model so compelling is its grand unifying scope. It offers a place for everything, from the physics of stardust to the biology of the brain, within a single coherent narrative. It connects our inner lives directly to the life of the cosmos. Comparing this expansive vision with the precise, mechanistic models of science is incredibly valuable. It pushes scientists to think bigger, beyond the confines of the skull, and it grounds the cosmic perspective in the testable realities of neuroscience. By holding both ideas in our minds, we get a richer, more complete, and far more wondrous picture of what it means to be a conscious being in a conscious universe.